Are you ready for this one? This is from Deadline. Japan's Toei company, or Toei Co. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but signs a developmental deal with South African's Pambili Media for samurai epic Yasuke, Way of the Butterfly. I had you for a second there, didn't I? Okay. So apparently that's the guy that signed on. Exclusive. Japanese studio Toei Co has signed a co-production development deal with Pambili Media, founded by South African filmmaker Mandla Dube, for historical epic film feature Yasuke, Way of the Butterfly, working title, about a real-life African warrior who became a samurai in Japan. Have we learned nothing? Have we learned nothing? What is happening right now? Denarius says, is this a late April Fool's joke? Not even joking. When someone sent me this, the first thing I did was check the date. So I'm like, there's no way this is real. It was from yesterday, guys, April 10th. It's not April Fool's. Dube is writing and directing the rare Japan-South Africa collaboration, which is part of Pambili Media's 6-picture development slate, backed by the Industrial Developmental Corporation of South Africa, the IDC. I have not researched the IDC at all, but I would be willing to bet a lot of money. I'd be willing to bet all my super chats that I get tonight that the IDC has some sort of transcendental connection to the WEF. That there's some sort of connection there. I don't know why. I feel like there is. Set against the rich background of Africa's, whatever the hell that word is, empire, and its trade ties to India, China, and East Asia, the story follows Yasuke on his journey from the African continent to feudal Japan in the 16th century, where he was made a samurai after a local lord recognized his skill and dignity as a warrior. Do you think Thomas Lockley is over there like, guys, you owe me money. I made this story up. You're now stealing my story about this real life person that I invented, this history that doesn't exist. I'm Thomas Lockley. I created that. You should be paying me money for this story. I wrote it. The producers describe it as a sweeping international cinematic event rooted in untold history and cross-continental connection. See, here's the thing. If they did it right and didn't go down the, oh, he's a samurai, like if they actually followed the storyline of Nobunaga and how he met him and stuff like that, and gave like a brief like outline of it, that would be cool. But man, this whole inventing this fictional history and saying this is what it was, there's so much wrong with that. It's not even funny. Do you think they're gonna have him like make it out with non-binary dudes too in the movie? Spearheaded by Yuji Kojima, Toei Vice President and head of Toei's Kyoto Studios. Hey, Kyoto, that's where Nintendo headquarters is. The developmental deal is part of Japanese studios' ambitious international expansion strategy, which involves international co-productions and developing remakes and original material for global audiences. I can't help but think that Ubisoft has something to do with this. I can't help but think. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? It also represents a new level of partnership between Japan and the African continent and the global media space. Weston Hudson says, I get a feeling this might be Japan's way of getting back at Ubisoft, or this is Toei Co. is a woke sellout. Based off of them saying he was a samurai, I'm leaning towards woke sellout. Dube's credits include Netflix action thrillers Silverton Siege, never heard of it, inspired by real life incident that sparked the Free Mandela movement, and Heart of the Hunter, never heard of it, based on Dion Meyer's best-selling novel that was the first African feature to debut at #1 on Netflix's global charts. I mean, I'm happy for it, but that doesn't mean I've heard of it. I still never heard of it. The developmental deal for Yasuke, Way of the Butterfly, was announced at a cocktail party held in LA. Oh, of course it was announced in LA. Color me shocked. On April 10th, so yesterday, they announced this, and attended by Toei Co CEO Fumio Yoshimura, Yuji Kojima, Consul General Kenko Sone, and the Japanese consulate, and other dignitaries and Hollywood creators. This is going to be a woke Hollywood slop fest of epic proportions. And I can only imagine how much money they're going to sink into this. Oh, man. We're going to have a field day covering this one. Kojima said, when Pambili Media first approached us with this idea of bringing Yasuke's story to the screen, we were intrigued and inspired. AKA, Kojima has no idea about the drama that surrounded Assassin's Creed Shadows. Clearly was not following any of the lies and anything. He just heard the story and believed it and was like, all right, yeah, make that movie. Can't believe it hasn't been made yet. This is not only an opportunity to reimagine. Oh, there's that word. Let's change history. What an opportunity to change history. Reimagine an extraordinary historical journey, but also a mission that aligns with Toei's long-standing tradition of producing bold, genre-defining stories. We are proud to lead this international collaboration. I swear, guys, like Thomas Lockley is going to be pissed that he's not getting $1 out of this. Dube commented, to work with a company of the caliber of Toei is a dream come true. In the telling of Yasuke's story, we strive for cultural authenticity while telling an entertaining story with global reach. Does he have bicycles and machine guns and sniper rifles? Because I might watch that movie. I am deeply honored by this collaboration and look forward to a long and fruitful relationship. Again, it's not about the content of the movie. It's about making the money off of the investors into this multi-country collaboration. Toei has a long legacy of producing samurai movies, many of which were filmed at Toei Co Studios located in the historical city of Kyoto. The producers of Yasuke expect to partially shoot the film at the Kyoto studios and are planning to engage Japanese government support through the JLOCs and incentive scheme. So the government's going to be paying for this propaganda. Gotcha. This is a way to try to indoctrinate Japanese people into embracing Black people, because historically, Japanese people have not necessarily done that. So this strikes me as, hey, let's just kind of indoctrinate the country of Japan for them to just embrace this. We'll just brainwash them with this information. Let's see the comments. I really hope these are some good comments. Anonymous, Japanese really are out of touch, aren't they? Out of touch with their own history? I mean, isn't that the same story that Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed that pissed off the entire country of Japan? It's the same Yasuke, yes. Yasuke was a real person, an African slave brought to Japan by a Portuguese missionary who became a samurai in Oda Nobunaga's service. Japan was not in any way pissed off by it. They're aware of their own history. What's your source? Thomas Lockley? Here we go. Cool. More gaslighting over a foreigner who was a weapon holder pest. Yeah. Look at these people. You don't know that. Okay, Mr. Anonymous. What do you know about him? This guy had like half of a piece of paper written about what he had done, and in feudal Japan, none of which ever described him, by the way, as a samurai. And he was only in Japan for, what, a year or two? He was not there long enough to become a samurai. Japan has no problem with Yasuke and Assassin's Creed Shadows. The ones that have a problem are mostly racist Westerners. Clearly, this person has not been watching what Japan has been saying about this game because Japan is not very happy about it. The Japanese totally had a problem with it, which is why video game was discussed in Parliament. Sure, man. I mean, this is people just pushing random things, hoping that it just sticks. Morse gaslighting over a foreigner whose contribution is a weapon holder before their relevance was blown up by a scammer disguised as a writer/educator. So Japan is gaslighting you over their own history? Laughing my ass off? Yes, actually, they are. If money is involved, they will gaslight the fuck out of whoever they want to gaslight. What is so hard to believe from that? Like, what? You think they just all have good intentions? Like, what the hell? Yeah, I love how they're all named anonymous too. Anon. So yeah, look forward to a historical. They don't even say anything about fiction here, by the way. So look forward to a historically accurate movie about the samurai Yasuke in a theater near you, coming probably sometime in the next 2 to 4 years. That should be interesting. That should be interesting. I like legit. I can't with this. I can't. What are we doing?